From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on the case close. And you know what? I do love this stuff, and I still go berserk over it. And the name of this video, the S&P 500 Futures 2075 Back and Fill. The high of the day in the S&P came in at 2086 half late in the day, or on the 345 close. The low came in at 2075 half early, and last we're 2086 even. We're up 5 handles on the day. Total volume is low. We've got 1.2 million minis traded. We've got 4,500 big S&Ps traded in the pit. MOC, the MIM was dicking around like small to sell, and the actual MOC came out by 130 million. Tomorrow, we have the personal income and outlays number. We have the employee cost index. We have the Chicago PMI. We have consumer sentiment. And we have John Williams and Esther George from the Fed speaking. Now look, after all the huffing and puffing and a 250-point rally in the S&P, it's not selling off. You know what it's doing? It's back and filling. And you know what? I met my 2085. I met my 2045 objective that I've been putting out. I met my 2085 objective yesterday and almost today again. And you know what? At the end of the day, the markets are not pulling back. And the other part about this is that I'm really thinking about is that after all this huffing and puffing, is next week as we go into November, it's a pretty bullish week as we go into it historically or statistically. And then you've got the Friday's jobs report, which me, MrTopStep, doesn't think there's going to be much job growth. And based on a data-dependent Fed rate hike, I don't think there's going to be any rate hike in December. So you know what? The Fed can put that in their pipe and smoke it. And then the last thing is, look, let's see. I talked about the good stats, and the last thing I want to talk about real quick. Look, I'm in the same camp that everybody's in. The S&P is well overdue for a pullback, and I do think it'll come. But until that back and fill price action shuts itself off, or even one of our traders in the room and a good friend, Marty Schwartz's son, put out something to me today that when he was looking at the market delta charts, he noticed that when the volume gets real big on the downside, and he pointed it out to me, and then as it moved over and it got lighter and lighter in each bracket, you could see how the algorithms would come in and attack those low volume lows, and that's really what pushes up these futures when they sell off like that. And that's basically what I've been talking about for the last three or 4 weeks, where I noticed that on these declines, they were buying the breaks. Remember, I put that out like 2.5, 3 weeks ago, buying the breaks. I noticed how every time they sold off, bids would come fluttering back in. And then last but not least, look, I work my ass off all the time, and you guys are asking me why I don't do videos. Well, I don't do videos because it takes away from my trading. It takes away from a lot of the other work that I do during the day. But at the end of the day, I love what I'm doing. And on Saturday, October 31st at 10 o'clock Central Time, Rob from Discovery Trading and I are going to go over the differences or the nuances between algorithmic trading and program trading and HFT. I'm going to do my little stint in the beginning, then Rob, he is a prop trader, is going to take over and explain all this stuff. But you know, at the end of the day, I got to say, as a trader, there's a lot of overload of information here. And what we're going to find out on Saturday is how all these different programs work and how they steal our money and run our stops. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the opening print.